In our first story, former Deputy Attorney General and a Member of Parliament for Bolga East, Dominic Ayeni, has filed a suit at the Supreme Court challenging the appointment of Martin Amidu as a special prosecutor. The MP in the writ argues that at 66 years, he's past the statutory age of employment to public office. Coming a few hours to the vetting of Mr. Amidu, the suit could potentially scuttle the process. Well, so let's first look at the declarations being sought by the plaintiff. In the event Parliament proceeds with the vetting and approves same, Dr. Ayeni wants the court to go ahead and annul the approval of Martin Amidu. Well, let's share with you the relevant clauses in which the Constitution deals with the age of retirement and pension. And Article 199(1), a public officer shall, except as otherwise provided in the Constitution, retire from the public service on attaining the age of 60 years. And then 4, notwithstanding Clause 1 of this article, a public officer who has retired from the public service after attaining the age of 60 years may, where the exigencies of the service require, be engaged for a limited period of not more than 2 years at a time, but not exceeding 5 years in all, and upon such other terms and conditions as the appointing authority shall determine. And so we'll have more on this on the AM show today. And already, on the other side of the political divide, there have been some reactions. And the acting chairman of the governing New Patriotic Party, Freddie Blay, has rubbished claims by the opposition NDC that Martin Amidu could use the office of special prosecutor to witch hunt ex-government officials under the erstwhile John Mahama administration. The opposition NDC in recent times have questioned the neutrality of Mr. Amidu, saying is prejudiced against the party, judging from his past pronouncements. Freddie Blay, in an exclusive interview with my colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson, expressed patience in the anti-corruption campaigner's ability to discharge his duties professionally.
We carefully chose Martin Amidu, not so much because of his even partisan or political affiliation, but for his proven record as not a citizen vigilante, but as a competent lawyer. His work is a man of integrity and extremely objective in whatever he is doing. So we've put it before court, before Parliament. We will expect for Parliament to decide.
So what are you expecting from Parliament tomorrow? I mean, he'll be vetted tomorrow.
We leave it to Parliament. We hope that Parliament will endorse him and let him be a representative, let him be somebody who is prosecuting for and on behalf of the state. We all have confidence in. That's all.
So you have the conviction that Martin Amidu will go through and then he will become the best special prosecutor as you desire the party?
We want him to be. This is our expectation. This is our hope. It's that Parliament will endorse him, strengthen his hand, and let him also do his work as a very objective prosecutor. Look at people for what they are and not what he thinks they are.
So you think that he won't use this office as a political witch hunting against his former party?
How can he do that? We rather who are in the MPP could even say that the man will use the position to witch hunters do things against our party. But far from that, we are hoping everything will be okay, and we are confident as an individual, very objective individual, he will do what is expected.
You know, I raised the concern because they say that the MPP just want him to do your hearted job. That's why the president and the party appointed him.
I think it's wrong, and you can ignore that. Those who will say so,
you disagree.
They have no good reason to say so.
So you disagree with that assertion?
Oh, I've dismissed it. Not that I disagree. I think you can ignore it.
Former Vice President Kwesi Arthur says he has no ambition in contesting for the NDC's flag bearership for election 2020. According to him, many have fallen in what he calls a trap, especially set by unrelenting journalists. Mr. Arthur, however, says he will be available to be used by the party in whatever way they could find necessary. He spoke to JoyNews MFR poll.
I'm available to be used by the party in whatever way they feel possible. So I'm available, but there's too much emphasis on the leader and so on.
Your name has come up. You don't want to. You don't want to heed the call. You've seen posters. We've seen posters on social media. Mr. Arthur for 2020. Haven't you seen it? Are you not behind it?
No, I'm not behind it. Definitely not behind it. A lot of organization is needed for somebody to become a leader, and so I'm saying that we are not there yet. When the time comes, people will come up naturally and they'll be voted for.
Is it that you don't think you're fit for the job?
I don't know why you ask. I'm not going to fall into that trap. Too many people have fallen into that trap where they are not ready and they have been forced because there's an insistent interviewer to say that, yes, I'm going. I'm saying to you that I'm happy that people feel that I'm qualified to lead the NDC. That also gives me a certain influence in the things that we are doing. So I'm happy that they are doing that, but I have not decided. And when I decide, I'll go all out into seeking the office. But as of now, no.
Away from politics, the Kumasi Traditional Council has set up a development council to champion the cause of development from the national kitty to the Ashanti region. More than 70 suburban and divisional chiefs say the region has been stifled of development despite its huge contribution to national growth. They have, as a result, vowed to demand from government specific development projects within the framework of a proposed 20-year blueprint. Bantamahene Bafo Owusu Amankwetia the Sixth spoke to Ohiming Teria on poor road networks in Kumasi and also general lawlessness in the capital.
Nananum are worried about what they say is the widening economic gap between Kumasi and Accra. Such sentiments prompted the formation of the Kumasi Development Council, whose membership is mainly of chiefs to discuss development issues. Asante Otumfo Tutu II has designated 2 Thursdays in every month for council meetings. Bafo Amankwetia says Kumasi has suffered years of neglect despite playing a major role in national economic development agenda.
It's not fair that when you go to Accra, you know, what you see in Accra, you come to Kumasi is different. Sometimes when somebody tells you that Kumasi is the second city after Accra, you don't believe it. But that is what is happening. We had a chance to look at the road development for the whole of Ghana. And in terms of ratings, when you start from, you know, the bottom, Kumasi is number 3. But seriously, when you look at the resources that come from Kumasi, I don't think we deserve that. When you come to Ashanti wine, we produce cocoa, we produce timber, we produce gold. Now we're going to bauxite. So I believe that we deserve a fair share of, you know, the national cake. But when you come to Kumasi, what do you see? Potholes left. The roads are in a terrible state of disrepair, and everything is going bad. To the extent that now what is in Kumasi, what is creeping in Kumasi, is lawlessness.
He says chiefs will henceforth demand and accept projects only if they meet expectation and requirements of the Kumasi Development Council.
Nananom is thinking of putting up a 20-year development plan. How we want Kumasi to look like in the next 20 years. So that whatever development that we're going to do in Kumasi is going to follow that blueprint. So that it's not going to be like our road is bad and this area, you know, we are doing a flyover. Then the government will come, oh, we can't do the flyover, so we are doing a small street for you here. No, Nananom are not going to accept it anymore. If you can't do the flyover, you stop it. And you go and do what you think you can do. That falls within our development plan. That is the only way that we can bring Kumasi to the level that it used to be.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, JoyNews reporting.
And on crime, the Ashanti Region Police Command says it will severely deal with personnel who were found to have acted unprofessionally in the Fuase shooting last weekend. 3 people died after police fired at protesters agitating over the relocation of the capital of the Kwanuma district from Fuase to Twediye. Oheminteria again.
Several bullet marks up to about 5 feet high are visible on walls of buildings. Residents accuse police of targeting them in Wednesday's incident, resulting in fatalities. They have been going round to pick both spent shells and live ammunition of what they believe to have been fired from AK-47 assault rifles.
It was just a peaceful demonstration, but they fired into the crowd, targeting unarmed residents. Police assaulted Nana Jasenhene without any provocation. It still baffles me why they fired shots into the crowd. I have picked these live ammunition as evidence of police unprofessional conduct. This is an evidence against their claim they fired only rubber bullets.
The regional command describes the shooting and casualties as unfortunate, while extending condolences to the bereaved families. ASP Juliana Obing is public relations officer.
If the duty of an institution is to get to a scene like that and then make sure there's absolute calm, there's absolute law and order maintained, and that was achieved, I guess that's it. Let's remember that it wasn't only the police that had gotten into the scene. It wasn't only the police that was detailed to go maintain law and order there. We had a team joining us from the military, and then we had the support of our colleagues from the fire service as well. And so we came as a security force, not the Ghana Police Service, but as the security force of the country to go restore calm and peace at Fuase.
So do you restore peace at the expense of human life? Is it the best?
Not at all. I think that from the onset I have said that it's unfortunate. We continue to extend our condolences to bereaved families. Honestly, I personally didn't expect that we're going to even have increasing numbers as the days go by after this incident, but I'd want to rest it over there. I have said in the past, right from the time I started communicating on this issue, that we are investigating. One, we need to find out what kind of guns or what kind of weapons were even used. Is it not possible that these weapons are not that of the police or are not even that of the military and could rather be coming from other forces from elsewhere, which we probably couldn't see? Or could it also be possible that these were guns that were being used by the citizens of Fuase? And that's why we had initiated investigations into this. All of these questions obviously have come up as a command, and so the need for us to go into it and then find out answers to these questions. So yes, we do not restore peace at the expense of other people. No. If that is what it is, I'm sure by this time we wouldn't have any Ghanaian alive. We wouldn't have at all. But there are issues that you would need to apply a certain level of force as and when needed. Let's again remember that this was not a rioters mob. This was a violent mob. This was a mob that had a fuel scattered all over. These were people who had serious locks blocking roads leading to Fuase and even beyond. These were mobs that had very deadly instruments. These were mobs that had attacked vehicles. These are mobs that had even taken hostage of a DC. And so again, I do not justify what happened, but then it was important that we go there to restore law and order.
No arrest has been made in connection with the shooting incident. ASP Juliana Obin, however, says the command will not shield personnel who will be cited for professional misconduct.
Reviews usually ends up with some kind of recommendations, plus or minus. And so yes, we do have the review. Like I said, it's already actually in progress. If at the end of our review we notice or we have that evidence to prove that indeed there was a policeman, there was a military man, or there was even a fireman who did something that was not professional, and for that matter has resulted not just in the death but in the mishandling of the issue at Fuase, yes, there is some kind of punishment that will be meted out to that police or military or fire personnel.
Meanwhile, residents of Fuase are voluntarily contributing to support treatment and upkeep of wounded victims of Wednesday's disturbances. Elvis Apia is youth leader.
Yeah, because we don't have nobody to help us. We depend on ourselves, so we're supposed to help ourselves to free them. After that, if anything else will talk, then it will be later.
From Fuase in the Achimaka district for Joy News, Mahima Interior reporting.
The Laura District Chief Executive Martin Bombayere has announced that the Assembly, in collaboration with chiefs and queen mothers, will soon enact bylaws to deter people from the practice of open defecation. It directed that all new buildings in the district should have sanitary facilities in their building plans. Owners of existing and old structures by the close of this year should also consciously provide toilet facilities for residents. Martin Bombayere gave the directive at the celebration of open defecation-free status of 50 communities in the district at Laura. Rafik Salam now reports.
Open defecation is one of the key sanitation challenges that militates against the attainment of total sanitation in Ghana. The practice, which allows people to defecate in the open environment, was prevalent in 94 communities, representing 15% in the Laura district. However, with the intervention of the Netherlands Development Organization, SMV, in 2014, the sanitation situation in the Laura district improved to 51% in 2017. Under the theme, Open Defecation is Anti-Development, Let's Stop It Now, the Laura district in the Upper West region celebrated the achievement of open defecation-free status, with 51 communities out of 110 reaching ODF status. The feat, chalked by the district, has catapulted it to place second fiddle to the Nandom district in the CDD district league table log in the Upper West region. Country Director of SMV, Ham Duka, commended the Laura district for achieving the feat and urged the district assembly to commit more resources to the Environmental Health and Sanitation Division of the Laura district to enable them perform their tasks effectively.
As Country Director, I really would like to express my appreciation to the Chiefs, management of Laura District Assembly, the Regional Interagency Coordinating Committee on Sanitations, and other institutions that constituted together the District Interagency Coordination Committee on Sanitation. This shows that an integrated approach in solving sanitation access in rural areas is working. According to an end-line household survey conducted by the project in the last quarter of 2017, the proportion of households who still practice open defecation has been reduced by 6% from the baseline figure of 78%. This is a very impressive figure. Although we still have challenges, as just mentioned, still 50% of the households don't have a latrine on their own, but still share the latrine with their neighbors.
In his address, Laura District Chief Executive Martin Bombayere highlighted the impact of the intervention of SMV that has resulted in the 51 communities that have attained the open defecation-free status.
Our wish to celebrate 100% district-wide ODF today, but it is not the case because some communities and sections remain a threat to our achieving 100% ODF. I wish to use this opportunity to appeal to the leadership of these communities, particularly the chiefs, queen mothers, assembly members, and the entire community members, to emulate the achievement of the ODF communities and ensure that they all support the fight against ODF.
Martin Bombayere directed that All new buildings in the district should have sanitary facilities in their drawings and also provide toilet facilities in the existing structures.
For the existing and old buildings, we have directed owners of such structures to consciously provide toilet facilities in them before the end of 2018. At our public places, ladies and gentlemen, we have in plan not only to build public toilets, but shall ensure that these toilets, when built, are well and properly maintained. To further deter people from defecating outside their homes, the District Assembly, in collaboration with chiefs, queen mothers, assembly members, and the youth, will enact bylaws that will ensure that those who violate these bylaws are punished accordingly. 23 natural leaders from the district were awarded. Doniel Edward is one of them.
The hazards throughout the night, you could be going out to the toilet and then probably step on a serpent. That one is also free. And one embarrassing thing is also, you have somebody you so much respect, then you go and squat behind a shrub. Probably the fellow is far behind you, looking at you. When you get to know that there's somebody behind you, you can't even continue to shit. It's a very big problem. So as for the benefits, they are so numerous.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Laura.
Before we go, Ghana is looking forward to picking up the ultimate prize in the World Spelling Bee competition later this year in the United States of America. Just think about it. And the country will be represented by Shefamankwa Gabi of Nage's Angel School based in Kumasi. She emerged national champion, the first ever from the Ashanti region, in the final contest recently convened in Accra. Shefa is hopeful ongoing preparations will put her in a good stead to make her country proud by annexing the crown globally. And Lava Firm's Chrissy Debra met her during a rehearsal session in a school and interacted with her on the journey so far.
Spell supina.
Supina. S-U-B-P-O. In that round, the two spellers got their words wrong, and it was my chance to spell my championship word. And that word was Wamara.
Braille.
Braille. B-R-A. So when they gave me this word, many thoughts were running through my mind. Like, should I double the M or not? So I asked for the definition of the word and I was given. It was a wood from South America. So I also asked for the alternative and unfortunately there was none. So when she pronounced the word Wamara, it wasn't a long M. It was a short M. So the thought of doubling the M, I just wiped that off. So I made the M one M. So it was W-A-M-A-R-A. So I was waiting for the bell to ring and it didn't. So that meant I won and I couldn't control my tears.
And I also jumped. I was so happy. I have to drop my phone, crashed it.
Ozuko Fisset, a teacher at Nage's Angels Educational Center. I'm Shefa's trainer. It wasn't an easy task, but by dint of hard work and by God's grace, Shefa made it.
Robert Teng Temple, the JHS head of Nage's Educational Center. Our 27th birthday fell on Sunday, 4th of February. And Shefa won the National Spelling Bee competition on the 3rd. So that was a big birthday gift Shefa presented to the school.
Efia Eninbedu, the Ashanti Regional Coordinator for Young Educators Foundation, the company which organizes the Spelling Bee competition. And it's the first time it's coming from the Ashanti region, Kumasi. And we have a package for her. As she being the champion of the competition, she gets to represent Ghana and Africa in the Scripps National Spelling Bee, the 91st one. And then she gets return tickets from South African Airlines for her trip to the USA.
The fact that Ghana is the only African country representing in the script spelling bee, I'm going to put in my best to bring victory to Ghana and Africa.
Spell subpoena. What is it? Have no fear. So we met the national champion. Shame to all of you think that she cannot. I believe she will.